Okay. Good morning. Uh, Today, I will explain the potential of artificial intelligence, the power of generative AI. I will start with the explanation what's generative AI, how it's work, the power of generative AI, the applications, and what's the best model to choose if you are interested in potential of generative AI. First of all, what's generative AI? Generative AI was being or invented to mimic the human to creating text, maybe visualizing an image or composing a music. And this has been done in centuries ago when the data was available, but the power of computing was not. So almost all of the artificial intelligence problems solved in the 70s, almost all of them, but the power of computing was not that high. Recently, the power of computing is rise in exponential way. So a lot of the problem has been solved and applied nowadays. Based on the machine learning technique and deep learning techniques, generative AI has been proposed recent maybe 3 to 4 years. Uh, okay. So how generative AI work? It's try to mimic the human-like learning. As you build an experience using some existing data or the big data, the much more data you have, the bigger accuracy you have, the best or the accuracy of the model will be increasing. You need to choose the best maybe model to train your data on it, and that's have certain let's say criteria. I will talk about it. Then if you train your model, they will be like generally two types of generative AI. Either they are supervised learning or unsupervised learning. Supervised learning will include that you give the data with label and you take the model and the model start to train itself. Unsupervised learning, you give the data and the model or the AI try to cluster this data in some specific way to generate a model or a clustering technique. So after you training the data, there is a generation phase, and that's in the generative AI. If you train the model, you try to now to evaluate your model. You try to evaluate or create a new realistic data based on the data you have, and compare the realistic data you created with the already created by the model. If that was accurate as possible, that will go to the evaluation and refinement. So if it's not good, you need to refinement and reorder the data, or increase the number of data, or maybe change the model. Based on that thing, you can refine the model until you reach a certain level or certain accuracy to create the best model for your data. After that, if you are happy or that the accuracy of the model was very high, you go to the application, and that's what it's a different area. I will talk about it in the last slide. Let's go. Categories of generative AI model. There is a lot of categories in generative AI model, but generally there are 6 you can use. Each one of them has a specific purpose. Transform-based model, this one based on NLP or natural language processing. It's used for creating text-generated AI. Vision transform or VIT, it is the same specific transform-based model, but it uses the vision to create images. You give them a subset of keywords, and he try to create the image for you. They are generative adversarial network, and this one try to it's best for healthcare diagnosis, basically like treatment and diseases detection, clustering the data, or finding a new maybe a problem in the healthcare area. Autoencoders, it's almost like the vision transform, but it is mostly likely to use in unsupervised learning manner, which means that you give them a subset of unlabeled data, and he tried to to classify them. It used mostly in the compression technique of images and even detection of some clustering technique. Variational encoder, autoencoders, it's almost like autoencoders, but it increase with the vision or the ability to create images based on some of the keywords that you maybe give the AI model. Multi-model models, which is gathering all of these models in one big model, try to create multi things, maybe creating text, creating music, creating images. This one is the most hard one to create because it's you need to making connection between these models and how they talk to each other and what's the output of each other. It is very complicated to create multi-model, but it's been created. but it have a little bit of limitation. Application and consideration. So if you take the models or the AI models that I explained briefly, there are a set of applications for each of them. As an example, like transform-based model used for text, creating text or creating text. Vision transformer creating for visualizing images. So each AI model you choose to create your data on or train your data on, it will have a different application than the other. So try to make maybe a little bit of research about what the target audience do you want, or what's the target goal that you want, and take in consideration the running time, the cost, and everything with it. The most popular generative AI examples, I think we all use it, the ChatGPT, the ChatGPT-4, or DALL-E. Most of these generative AI examples, it's being based on numerous data or big data concept. ChatGPT and ChatGPT-4, both of them is for text creating AI or generative text. Both of them was based on Google information. I think the last update was 2018, if I'm not mistaken. ChatGPT-4 is more complicated than ChatGPT. ChatGPT-4, if you know about it, it is capable of solving mathematical equation, giving solution, or solve some programming problems. DALL-E is how I say it, it's more than generative AI for images. You give him a couple of keywords and he try to come up with the image as like a mock-up art. This DALL-E was based on multi-image training, millions of image training, and the combining algorithm is very amazing how they combine the images with each other. So if you like say cat with smoking cat, he will give you a cat which is smoking, and this based on a large database of cats and smoking. It has some limitation, but it's very amazing how they combine these images with each other. Benefit of AI. So the benefit of AI is numerous. I cannot maybe this like summarize them, but creating creative content creation, it's been like using widely in the past 3-4 years. A lot of people ask generative AI if they can generate some text, some story, and has been going the social media a lot. Some people say the AI wrote a book about something, about a topic, or etc. etc. And it was very amazing the structure how they write it. Time and money saving. It's not just generally talking about the content creation. It will save you time and money if you are looking for solving some problem in timely manner. So if you are looking like for programming a problem, a lot of students, work or use the ChatGPT to solve their problem. It's a kind of cheating, but it's a time consuming, and they learn from ChatGPT by solving this problem. Increasing precision. If you use the generative AI in marketing place, it's maybe I will talk about the benefit. I will talk about the advantages of AI. So one of them is increasing precision. You will increase the accuracy of your flow work if you use generative AI to solve your problem, because it's been solved before and you apply the solution on your problem without looking for the solution before. So that's basically the simplified version of it. Novel uses of various industries. This is large. For example, generative AI have been used for creating new products, creating a new maybe ideas, give you ideas, give you maybe a shortcut for a text that you are struggling to do it. So a lot of novel use of generative AI have been applied even in social media analysis, data analysis, even give you a hot topic if you are starting a new research. So you are starting from there. Application of generative AI. It's numerous, but I will maybe summarize it. In healthcare, it's been used widely to detect tumors, diseases, anomaly detection, and some of the chromosomes detection. Marketing, creating new products, new ideas, logos. It can create new logos, branding name or branding, and especially in branding. Education, where it used the AI to create new problem solving them, maybe solve the exam for you, creating a new exam for you. Finance, analyze the marketplace, how it's going go up and down, and give you maybe some advice, and have been used maybe in the last decades. Visual assistance, and this is a new era where visual assistants can mimic the way humans talk and speak and even explain things, and it's been like an assistant, like an AI robot, but in using generative AI. climate science, and it's been used like to detect anomaly in climate science, predict what the climate will be. Creative industry, it's called, maybe in creative industry, you will ask maybe the generative AI to create some kind of a fusion, especially in image generative AI. You will ask him about maybe make me a product combined with a fire extinguisher. So it will be like something, an idea. You can take some time to sketch it, but the AI will make it in 2 to 3 seconds, and you will take the base idea from it and create some creative idea for the industry. In video games, it's been used widely to program some of the problems, creating some of the characters in visual imaging, and even give you the code for some of the physics in the games. So it's been used wisely, and I used in video games to create some 2D games. I asked him, I want a code for my character to jump, and he gave me the code in C#, C++, or Python. Sorry. Dangerous and limitation. I think this is one of the most important topics to consider about generative AI, spread of false information. This thing has been, research has proven, if the model has been trained on some specific data, it will spread some false information, and maybe it's even a bias amplification. I think you heard about in Emirates or Qatar, there is a robot about 5-6 years ago, and he studied a lot of data in the region, and he came up with an idea, all people must die. And you can Google it and you see it. And from where he get this idea, I think from the model, the data they have given. If you have given him some data, false data, it will give us some spread or false information. So one of these things is to be very important is what the data they are using. If you are using a data, it maybe give you a false information, and maybe it will take the bias information and the bias for some part, to the other part based on the data you give them. So the data will decide which side the model will be side of it. Workforce impact, of course, if the generative AI it will take take a big impact of some of the work names or workspace or work impact. It will take some basic human let's say it like human flow, and he will do it very fastly, very rapidly, without any mistake. So there will be a great impact on work impact. In conclusion, to summarize these things, generative AI is a very powerful tool. You must consider the data you are choosing to make the model. You must consider what the target audience that you are working with, and training your model on the best maybe categories that I mentioned. Maybe it will give you the highest accuracy or the desired model that you're making. And thank you. Thank you. Stop or 10.